record to the cloud. So if you could stay muted, I have allowed you all to speak. If you'd like to speak, just unmute yourself. You can ask a question on any of the slides. I'll be happy to stop right when you have the question. We are going to be doing a live demo at the end, so you guys could guide the demo however you want to have it go. Please enter your questions into the question Q&A feature in Zoom or the chat. Either way, I'll be checking both during the call today. This is going to be one GBCI General CEU. And I'll give you guys all the details after this. After we get done with this, I'll send you a recording and also these slides so you guys can use those for your reference. So some objectives, we're going to kind of give you a little bit of background on the USGBC's Better Material Program. A lot of folks that we've interacted with did not know that the program existed. So we'll kind of talk to you about why they built it, how it's used, and how it can be helpful for material selection. They also have a program called Verified for Lead, which the GBCI actually took on some data from the manufacturers preemptively, not attached to a project, and they actually evaluated those products for verification and provide that signification in the platform. So you'll know products have been already pre-approved essentially by the GBCI for your project. So we'll show you how that works. We'll review some credit language that requires product transparency and documentation, and then show you how that information is supported through the Better Materials platform. And specifically, we'll go through how the ecomedes platform that we created actually helps you discover building products that meet your sustainability goals from a variety of different ways, and conduct comparisons of sustainable products, analyze energy and water impacts of building materials, and even generate lead documentation at the product level or for an entire project with one click. It's a free tool that's available to anyone in the marketplace that wants to use it. So we're really happy to be sharing that with you guys today. So let's go on to the next slide. So the Better Materials program started with three simple elements of their mission. They wanted to accelerate, simplify, and scale LEED so that more people could use it as a project parameter and as a project guideline. So we are very proud to kind of align with this. And this is kind of been one of our mantras since we built ecomedes from the first day. So right now, the way the industry was working is GBCI needed to do lead reviews. They asked project teams for lots of information, and project teams were going to lots of different places to go find information, including our site and sites like Sustainable Minds, UL Spot, Origin, Building Material Scout, and on greening. Product manufacturers sometimes gave you the information directly, but there's just a lot of data out there. It was very hard to kind of find all this information. On average, hundreds, if not thousands of hours are spent on projects kind of going through the scavenger hunts, as we call it. And when the USGBC did some focus group research, they actually found that a project team has to access about 25 pages of documentation and interpret about 45 different parameters to make it available to the team to make a decision on every product in a project. And some projects are highly complicated. We've had some that have over 5,000 unique products in them to evaluate. So there's a lot of effort that has to go into finding the data, correlating it, putting it on your desktop, putting it in the right buckets, and eventually updating it to Lead Online so you can submit for evaluation. Just a little note, when we started our platform, we had about 15 parameters that we were bringing in as a database. We now have over 3,000 different unique parameters across all the different building product categories that we cover. So a lot of growth has happened in the last 10 years in the space. And we're really happy to be helping tackle some of it. So what the Better Materials solution did is it said, what if the GBCI could have access to all these different databases, and then the product manufacturers can just choose to give their data to some or all of these. So GBCI had access to all this information and then therefore gave it access to you through the Better Materials solution. So it's essentially like a Travelocity or an Expedia that goes out to grab a bunch of data from a lot of different sites. Essentially, the Better Materials GBCI portal does that. It tries to go out and put out the search query to all the different sites and grab you the data that you want for the product manufacturers. Every site's a little different. What we'll be doing today is showing you how our platform works, but they all have good resources available within them. And basically what it works like is just like Expedia or Travelocity, you type in one word into the keyword search on bettermaterials.gbci.org. I put the link into the chat, so if you want to check that out, you can. Basically, we'll generate one search engine query to all 5 of these sites currently. And what will happen is as soon as you type that in, you'll get access to what our results are, what UL Spot's results are, what Sustainable Minds results are, what Building Scout and Origin will provide you. So each one of them have different data sets, but ultimately a lot of the data might be coming from the same sources and allow you to search for that, in this case, flooring, very efficiently and very, very quickly. And what we'll do today is kind of go through how our system sorts that data for you, how it presents it to you, and how you can then use it to make better decisions. The Verified for Lead program takes it one step further. This is a single page of lead compliance and credit contributions already indicated by a GBCI review team. So what manufacturers were doing during the pilot last year is actually submitting all the data, and then the GBCI review team would actually review it as if they were doing a project review, and then they would generate the data right there for you live. I've got a question. We supposed to be seeing the presentation. I would think you would, but I apologize if you guys weren't seeing the presentation. All right. Well, there you go. Can you guys see it now? All right. Sorry about that. I don't know what was going on with Zoom. So the Verified for Lead program, let me take a step back just to show you the example there. So the bettermaterials.gbci.org platform does a single search query and then generates output based on all the different pages that are available to the query. So basically 5 different search engines will get spun up. GBCI sends us the protocol, and then flooring is basically put in the search bar on all 5 pages. And then you across the top will see all that data available to you on your web screen with a bunch of tabs at the top of your browser. The Verified for Lead program does a full evaluation in GBCI mode. So it'll take a look at all the data available from that manufacturer across any of the versions of Lead v4.1 and v4.0, and it'll actually show you where the credits came from, and all the documentation is already subdivided and broken out for you. So you know exactly why the product will get 1 point here, 1.5, or full credit attribution or partial credit attribution. We'll go through that a little bit when we go through the live demo and show you what a couple of these Verified for Lead sheets actually look like. So what I'm going to do today is walk you through how the Materials for Lead platform, our version of the Better Materials platform, works, and give you some orientation, and then do some free training on how you guys can build an account, have all your project documentation summarized for you. You can create as many projects as you want on our platform. It's always free to use to anyone in the A&D community. So what we're going to be covering today is Lead B, D, and C, new construction v4.1. We'll be covering a couple different credits, 3 in the materials and resource category and 1 in indoor environmental quality. So in the materials and resource category, it's going to be environmental product declarations, up to 2 points available for project teams, sourcing of raw materials, up to 2 points, material ingredients, up to 2 points, and then indoor environmental quality, low emitting materials, and there's up to 3 points available to project teams within that designation. So first off, I'll show you at the very top of our platform, there's a filter called Verified for Lead. So all 427 products currently verified for lead from the various manufacturers are all available to you at the very top filter. So it's kind of like a meta filter, almost like Amazon Prime. You can kind of imagine that the data around these products has already been served up for you. There's 376 building finishes that have gone through this evaluation, 17 furniture products, 1 construction material, 3 indoors and windows, and 15 manufacturers participate in this pilot. It's really a huge benefit to the platform because a lot of manufacturers have kind of taken it for a test drive. And this year, I believe they're going to be rolling out in a much more deeper pilot version number 1. So these products have been reviewed. All their performance data was actually analyzed by a GBCI review team, and their compliance with V4 or 4.1 has been indicated. So by clicking that box, you'll see every product. These little baseball cards will appear on your screen. And when the live demo, I'll show you what all that means. But there'll be a little green circle around the box there. So you'll know which one of these products has achieved that level of documentation. So jumping into the B, D, and C credits. Here, the first one we're going to talk about is the EPD Related Credit for environmental product declarations. There's 2 options here. Up to 2 points can be awarded. The first one is to use at least 20 different permanently installed products, sourced from at least 5 different manufacturers that meet one of the disclosure criteria below. So rather than kind of worrying about all these different details, what we've done in our platform is sourced up all the products that have met 1 or more of these guidelines. So within 1 click, you can find those 5 brands that have products that meet those LCA data points. So if you go to materials for lead.ecomedes, you can actually filter on our left-hand navigation by either EPD or LCA. And then in parentheses, you'll actually see how many total products have met those guidelines. And currently we have over 30,000 products that have met those guidelines of either an LCA or an EPD is available. So you can then search further by category or subcategories. You can go in and say, I'm looking for products that have this criterion, but I'm looking for flooring, or I'm looking for paint, or I'm looking for mastic or a tile grout, or I'm looking for furniture. All those product categories are a subdivided sub-search, and you can actually find all those products that way. You can look by CSI division. You can look by EPD and the kinds of EPDs, whether it's a product specific, industry-wide, and you can finally search by brand as well. That's another way to kind of cut through the data. With so many different products, it's easier to kind of cut through the data that way and be able to see all of it on the screen. When I do the live demo, I'll kind of go through this example in a live way. I just want to show you the various credits we're going to go through later. The next one is sourcing of raw materials. Here, there's a wide variety of requirements there that can give you up to 2 points possible. This one's done by cost, so 15 and 30% of the total cost of the materials will be at least available on those 5 different manufacturers, or 3 manufacturers if you're going for the lower threshold. But here, anything related to extended producer responsibility, a bio-based product from USDA BioPreferred, wood products that are FSC or USBC equivalent, materials reuse or recycled content. So we'll go out and gather the data from the marketplace. We have 687 BioPreferred products, 1,975 FSC certified products, and 383 recycled content products. We are starting to do work on an EPA database of recycled content for their federal purchasing, and we'll be adding over 5,000 new product manufacturers with product data available on the recyclable content front once we load that database for the EPA. So a lot of choices there. Again, you just select the eco label that you're looking for, and those credits will pop up, and then every product that meets those guidelines will be scoured through our entire database. We bring this data in on a monthly basis, and we have 80 different eco-label certification sources that we bring data in on your behalf, and it's all available to you with one click without having to go to all those different websites. You can further refine your recycled content output by category, subcategory, CSI division, or brand. So further kind of refinement can be done very, very quickly on that credit. Under materials resources for ingredient reporting, here there's a wide variety of requirements around ingredients, at least 20 different permanently installed products from at least 5 different manufacturers. And here the requirement is to demonstrate that kind of inventory down to 1,000 parts per million. So we have sources of data like BIFMA level. C2C is one of our standard partners, so we have all the data from them. Declare, red list free, red list free, and then declared. Also count facts from NSF 336, Global Green Tag, Health Product Declaration, we're data partners with them, Living Product Challenge, Manufacturer Inventory, or a Product Lens Certificate. So those are the requirements for the data required to support these credits, and we have a wide variety of those available. So all of BIFMA level E3 is on our database, 4,000 products. C2C has 832 currently, and 1,600 material health. Declare, we have 9,422 products. HPDs, we have 33,000, and Living Product Challenge is 135. Anytime you create a filter on our platform or a product category filter, you'll see in parentheses the total number of products that are available if you were to create that filter within your search. So you're always in kind of a knowledge standpoint, knowing how many more things are left if you kind of create multiple filters to see what's available to you. You can further refine things that are like BIFMA level or C2C by saying, can I see the levels of certification? So C2C has, gold, platinum, silver. Level has 1, 2, and 3. So anytime that the rating system has multiple tiers within it, we'll give you another refinement that you can kind of go to the products that maybe most match your guidelines and requirements. And then the last credit underneath the materials and resource section would be material ingredient optimization. Very similar type of guidelines. You want to use at least 5 permanently installed products that have come from 3 different manufacturers, and the products according to the table. So material ingredient screening and optimization plans, cradle to cradle, declare HPDs, Living Product Challenge, or the REACH or a PhD report by Global Green Tag are all available documentation requirements. And again, we bring in the C2C, the declare, the HPD, and the Living Product Challenge as possible options for you. So you can already search when you're working on those credits, you can just search directly by those product certifications, and you'll see the entire product database from their certification standpoint available to you consolidated. Many of these have really nice websites by themselves, but you'd have to go and have 5 or 6 different web windows open. We essentially are pulling that together for you dynamically every single day that you want to use our platform. And again, it's free to use. So we want to make your life a lot easier when you're working on a lead project. And the last one is an indoor air quality credit. So here there's 3 points available for low emitting materials. And there's a couple different basis points on categories that you cover, 2 categories, 3 categories, 4 or 5. You can even get exemplary performance if you do that. And again, you can search our database with those categories in mind and look for data related to CDPH, VOC content evaluation, ultra low urea formaldehyde emissions under EPA guidelines. And some of the product categories have some specialty rules around paints and coatings with CARB, adhesives and sealants, South Coast Air Quality Management District, furniture ANSI BIFMA, and then composite wood with either CARB or TSCA compliance for Title 6. So here you have that same ability. You can look by BIFMA, you can look by Green Guard Gold, you can look by SCS Indoor Advantage Gold. Those are all going to be South Coast Air Quality Management District compliant or CARB compliant. And those three filters give you a huge variety of products. There's over 60,000 products in the database that meet those guidelines available to you to pick. And then all you need to do is find the 3 different brands and 5 different products. You can very quickly achieve a high level of capacity with this platform. So with that, I'll stop and see if you guys have any technical questions on the credits, or you guys are ready to go to the live demo. So I'll stop and take a look at the chat and the QA. I don't see anything. I've given you all the permission to talk. If you guys would like to ask a verbal question, feel free. I know sometimes when we're on Zooms all day, it's always easier or better to just ask a question out loud. So if you'd like to, feel free. I don't see anyone. Ready for live demo. All right. So if you guys want to, if you have 2 screens, or you can minimize my screen, you can go to materialsforlead.ecomedes.com. It's a free platform. It's designed to streamline and simplify lead projects for anyone working on them. They could be used by architects, engineers, contractors, your subs, your vendors, a distributor that's selling you product. It curates the largest database of lead compliant products in the world. It's great at search and discovery of products. You can compare products side by side, apples to apples. You can do project analysis, product analysis, ROI calculations, project level, and project management dashboard for your own account. So if you guys want to go there, you can. Materialsforlead.ecomedes.com. Do not need a www. You just spell it out exactly as it is on the screen. I'm going to go back and log out to show you how easy it is to sign up. The only reason why we ask you to sign up is that we can actually save your work for you. So if you just put in your email address, create whatever password you want. We don't share your data. We don't spam you. We don't ever give away your information. You just need to do that so we have a space on our server so you can actually save your products into a project. So I'll show you that in reverse just to show you what the benefit is. So if you have logged in, you'll see your name in the upper right-hand corner, and all your project work will be saved for you. One of the things I struggled with in my first 10 years in the space is I didn't know what the impact was of all the things I had consulted on and what I had suggested to clients. This kind of solves that problem because it rolls up all the watts and water of all the suggestions I have in this platform. So anytime you build a project out, it'll actually save all your documentation, and I'll show you what that would look like. So every product you want to put into a project, you can just kind of give it a little title block, HVAC demo, it's the size, zip code, the name of the project, the name of the owner, project description. And basically what you get to do is take all the data associated with these products and throw them into an entire project, similar to kind of like a lead online document, but imagine it not needing to know what credit it's for. It's just taking all the environmental data into one spot. So I'll just click on this Armstrong product as an example. So all this data is baked into that project that I created just by linking the two. So there's a bunch of general information I have on the product, installation sheets. I have the lead verified for lead summary card. So I go to that, it'll actually show me the GBCI reviewers document, the lead summary sheet. These are all the review notes and all the credits that it applies to. So I have access to that with one single click. All the data in our system is date stamped and source stamped. So if you hover over any data in our system, it'll tell you Armstrong Sims provided this March 14th of 2022. This was provided by WAP Sustainability on the 24th of 2022. This EPD was provided by Armstrong, and if we click on that, it'll take us to that actual Armstrong certificate certified by UL. So all the data that you normally would go out and look for, all that data is linked directly to the source of that information. So here's their declare label, and here's your Green Guard Gold certificate. So all that information, is all baked into that project. If I am on this project, I can just go through and just keep adding more and more products into it. So multiple products from multiple different manufacturers will all be summarized into one spot. Same thing with USG. Their entire data set will be pulled in. And the beauty of that is I can, at the very bottom of this tool, just say, I want to run this entire kit of parts, all these different products from all these different manufacturers. through any version of lead that interests me the most. So BDNC V4, V41, I'll hit one button of evaluate, and all those products at their unit price summaries is $2.2 million order from all these manufacturers is all summarized. And these are all the credits within lead BDNC V41 and 40 that they comply with. So here, 9.25 products contribute. Here's the dollar amount for those sourcing of raw materials. It even gives you the detail on the different options for the credits. Underneath every one of these project summaries, this individual Armstrong product that we saw will be summarized and will give you the detail on how those product details actually align with the BDNC V41 credit. So it shows you that data and also the contribution, the data and why. So this gets 1 point because it has an EPD. This gets 1.5 points because it's optimized with an HPD. All that information is rolled up for you, so you don't have to ever worry about managing, trying to pull that stuff together, because you'd be on a lot of different websites. To gather this without a tool like ours, it's the better part of a couple days of work to go find all this information and put it all together. It's all pulled together for you as long as you want to use the platform. It's free, share it with anybody you want. That first top filter is verified for lead. Here are those 478 products that I showed you that have been verified for lead. You can then pull down the category subfilter. So here we have 351 in finishes, 16 in furnishing, 78 in construction materials. I click on that construction materials, it'll then show me those 78 results, and I can go through subcategories and see all the brands that participated. The price point, great question. The price point that we have in our project filter is based on what the user of the platform is putting in. So it could be a vendor, it could be a subcontractor. We do not carry very much pricing information. Some manufacturers do put that in on their product pages, but a lot of them, as you know, are being bought through distribution, and there's a lot of different variants ways of how they put that data together. So that is one thing that we are working on to try to get more pricing information. But right now you have to put in the pricing if you want to run the calculations that require pricing. So the recycled content one, some of the location manufacturer ones will require that. But most credits are mapped off of the performance data, like an EPD or an HPD being present. So again, here's where you kind of see all those different underlying products. So floor decking material, here's some floor decking material from ASC certification that have all the data points that you might want around a lead project. So manufacturing locations in here, product page links. You can always link out usually to a product page and find out more about that example from the manufacturer directly. We are primarily focused on just having all the technical green data in one spot. Yeah, so the question just came up is, do we have regional material data? We do have regional material data from most of the manufacturers in our system, but some certification data sources that we have do not pass that along. So we do not have the ability to bring that data out. So we have mostly data driven by certifications and eco-labels at this point in our platform. We have over 50 manufacturers that have chosen to use our data platform as a way to manage all their data outbound, like Interface and Herman Miller, Certainty, Armstrong things. So they have a very rich data set, but a lot of them only have the certifications and eco-labels. Now, that is not a very small set of certifications and eco-labels. We have a lot of the ones that are available in the marketplace. So everything from BIFMA level, bio-preferred, C2C, all these are the data sets that we have available in our platform. So if you were looking for, say, that example where we talked about EPDs and LCA data, you can select an EPD filter and an LCA filter, and then you'll have 38 or 43,000 results to choose from. And now you can find everything that's going to be optimized around embodied carbon. So then you can then further refine your search by categories. So these are all the products that have some type of an LCA or EPD. And then if you said, I want to look for finishes, and then under the subcategory of finishes, I'm down to 36,000, and maybe I selected carpet. So now I have 18,000 products to choose from, and I can further go down into carpet and then either refine it by the EPD kind, product specific, or I can look at what brands in commercial flooring have an EPD. So 7 from Bentley Mills, 18,000 from Interface, Mannington has 5, Milliken has 5, Mohawk has 36, Shaw has 26, Tarkett has 385. So if I clicked on Tarkett, this will then give me the 385 products from Tarkett that meet those guidelines. And if I wanted to add this product, I can take a look at Fabricate, say, wow, this is good. There's carbon neutral as a product designation, 100% recyclable. It has lots of certifications and EPD and NSF 140. It's got recycled content. I like this. I can just add it to my project. So I'm going to go back into this list and I can just add it to that project that we just talked about and go hit save. And now all this data, without me having to touch any of it or going to any of these links to grab that static data, I can now just go to my project, and down below here, I've just added the interface product to this mix in here. So here's that concrete blended product. I can then update the total amount and then total pricing, and that'll automatically present itself to me. So all that data can then be rerun through the calculation. Another way that some clients use our platform is just going by category first. So if I was looking for, say, construction materials and looking for maybe drywall. So if I can go in here, go down to the bottom of the subcategory list and find wallboard, gypsum, and drywall, I can click that refinement, and now I'll see 69 results. And these products have C2C, Declare, EPDs, HPDs, Indoor Advantage Gold, and Green Guard certifications. And then these are the brands that have those products available to me. So it's a very, very simple tool to kind of look in two different directions. One, coming in from a category and kind of defining construction materials, wallboard, or ceilings. What certifications live within that product category? Here are all the certifications. And then what brands have achieved those certifications? So we're trying to always make the job of the scavenger hunt for sustainable data super easy and straightforward to do. And we wanted to make that tool available to the marketplace so you guys can have an easier time doing lead. Another really cool way to use the platform is just going in right by picking a rating system, picking a version of the lead rating system, clicking down to commercial interiors and say maybe dialing in indoor environmental quality, and then looking by credit and saying, I'm looking for a product that meets this credit number 7. So here are 3,056 results, and these are the eco labels behind those products. And here are the brands that meet those guidelines. So very quickly, you can kind of come at it from a direction of, I know what rating system I'm using, I know what credit I'm looking for some solutions on, and now it'll show me the eco labels that are participants in that credit evaluation. And then here are all the brands that have achieved something like that. So if I click on Armstrong ceilings now, or Armstrong walls, I'll have all the products that have the different textures, and all that data is available to me without me having to worry about whether or not I have the right information. And I can add that Armstrong product to a project. So if I go to add to project, I can go in here and say, I want to add this to my UHBC Better Materials Training, hit save. Now this product and all of its detail will be added to that project. So I don't have to go do any downloading of PDFs or anything like that. It'll be available to me. And now I have the Armstrong ceilings product up here added. And all I have to do now is update to the total square footage of what I was interested in. Go to the bottom, hit save, and then I can get ready to recalculate lead contributions. I can also do any variant of that. So there's no limit to how many different versions of lead you want to run this evaluation through. Just pick the ones you want. It'll redo the calculation. So as your design changes and evolves, it'll always give you information back. How often do manufacturer product get added? We are adding products to the database every single day. As I said, we have partners in the different eco labels and certifications. So as they update their database, both adding products and deleting products that are no longer certified, the system gets updated, basically every single day. Manufacturers also update their information with us directly, and then it gets syndicated out to all of our platforms. Let's see, one more thing. I want to show you guys how you guys can evaluate products against one another. So I'm going to go to furnishings here and pick a couple of chairs. So I'm going to pick this chair. I'm going to add this to a project. Oh no, I'm going to add it to comparison. I'll add that one to a comparison. I'm going to find another brand. Go through here and find a couple here. So Global Furniture Group. I'll find another chair. I'll add this one in comparison. I'll go and add Herman Miller. So what's nice is you can kind of ping pong around and find all the things that align with what you're looking for. There's lots of brand detail in here. We have over 10,000 brands of data in the platform. So it's a very robust database. Again, it's being done, so we'd love for you guys to use it because it'll save you guys some time, but we always love when people find better products using our platform. So let me go here and find another one. That's not the chair I want. So pick this one, and we'll pick one more just to show you the wide variety of data that's available. Let's see. All right, go to view comparison. So just that quickly, I've grabbed all these product data sets and I've amassed their data from multiple sources. And now you have an apples to apples comparison. So all the detailed data is in the far left, and you can see contact information, who has an environmental advocacy program, who's got external product pages, recyclability, recycled packaging. One has verified for LEED, the rest don't. BIFMA level certification across the board, CDPH guidelines, red list compliant on two have EPDs, one has an HPD, the rest don't. So very quickly, you can gather this data. I used to spend hundreds of hours in our firm a month just trying to gather this data to build like spreadsheets of this. And it was always, as soon as it was updated, it was no longer up to date because something changed along the way, because most of these brands have multiple sources of documentation. You can have all that stuff available to you. And one of the things that a lot of young designers are kind of using the platform to do is to share that information out. So I'm going to put this in the chat, and I just grabbed the URL across the top of our browser. If any of you guys click on that URL in chat, you'll actually get to drop right into the same view. So you'll get sent to materials for LEED, and you should be able to see all 5 of these products side by side. And what teams are doing is sharing that around. Everyone that gets a chance to vote gets to kind of look at all the product data, and they can make a decision on which ones to keep. If one of them doesn't make the cut, they can always just remove it and then have down to 4 products. All the data is hyperlinked inside of this. So if you find something that you want to say, I want to go check out that level 3 certificate, you can actually just press on the hyperlink on the browser and it'll send you right to that certificate. So you can kind of make sure that what they got in the system is available to you. So that's another nice feature of the platform. And again, the more projects you build, the more of like a green CV it'll build out for you. It'll kind of summarize the number of products, the total number of units in those SKUs, total cost of the project. If you put in cost information, if you have water or energy savings related to the project, it'll actually put those on there. It'll total the combined watts and water savings for you, and it'll list out all the standards you've addressed and applied to that project. So it's a very quick way to kind of scan through all the information you might be looking for and needing to have access to. And you can always go in and change the data. If you ever have a change to the design, you want to add a product, delete a product, update a quantity, delete a quantity, update pricing. It's a very easy way to go through this process and kind of keep it up to date. If we do know the location of manufacturer, and there's multiple ones, it'll automatically pick the closest branch to you. So here's the USG product page. This manufacturer has data with us, and we also know the location of manufacturer. So you can always change it up by actually addressing where you're at, and it'll find the closest manufacturing plant to you if you need to make those adjustments. So that's always available from some of the manufacturers that are trying to make that part of our LEED lives easier. So with that, I'll stop talking. I'll answer any questions. Feel free to unmute yourselves or put a question in the chat. Happy to do a demo of a specific category or a certificate or an eco-label that makes most sense to the work you do. So feel free. I think you guys are all allowed to talk from my screen. So love to answer any questions you guys might have. Love to get some feedback on the tool. Any suggestions to make it better, I'd love to hear those as well. There's a question, does it also include cost comparison? We don't have cost comparisons built in because we don't have the ability to have that data flowing in from the manufacturers. Most of the data sources we have do not send us any of that. We wish we had it. We are working with a couple large retailers to build in project where to buy buttons, and that would allow you guys to find that information like from a retailer like a Home Depot or a Ferguson or something like that. There is a cost benefit calculator. So if you find a product that has Energy Star data, we'll take the Energy Star data and we'll build a little small cost model. So you can say, I'm looking at a 3-year payback. The energy costs are 15 cents a kilowatt hour. I need 1,000 of these light bulbs in a school that I'm renovating. The bulb cost is $7.50. The baseline bulb is say $2. The baseline bulb is 60 watt. This is a 14 watt bulb with a 25,000 hour lifetime. The standard bulb lasts for 10,000 hours. And just by putting in a couple of these parameters, we'll now have the upfront cost differential. So there's $3,700 investment in March of 2022. We'll break even in June of 2022 with a $1,700 payback. And then over the course of 3 years, we'll have $62,000 of payback as a result of those light bulbs being in that building with 1,000 of them running 12 hours a day. If this was a hospital and they ran 24 hours a day, I can make that change. And now the ROI significantly jumps up and I save $135,000. So it's a really nice little tool that takes the performance data up here in Energy Star and WaterSense and turns it into a nice little ROI chart. And this little jump in payback is actually when the 10,000 hour bulbs burn out and then you don't have to replace them yet. So you have an automatic jump in money because you didn't have to buy $1,002 bulbs that burnt out after 10,000 hours. And I can always play with this duration of the horizon and put in a 10-year payback, and it'll rerun the calculation for a 10-year operational cycle. You can see that the value both in dollars and in kilowatt hours can become very, very powerful in terms of a message for the owner and the client. We do the same thing for water. If you go into our plumbing category, everything from WaterSense in the United States is in there. So you can go in here and say, I'm looking for a certain category of product, like let's say a single flush toilet, and they'll bring all the toilets up. You can then filter by brand. So if you said, I really like Kohler products, I can go up here. Where's Kohler? Right there. And then all the Kohler single flush toilets will pop up, and then you can take a look at one, see the data, and then the same thing, make an evaluation based on the water comparisons.
Hey, Paul, I have a quick question. So if I'm working on a project and I'm adding different products to my project, can I share my project with another team member?
We are working on that right now. I think middle of next quarter, we're going to have the ability for you to take a project like this, and on this screen, just share the entire project out. So it'll create a duplicate for the person you're sharing. So it'll say, give us your email of your project team, and it'll send the entire project to share. We are working on a future capability where multiple people can work on one workspace, but with permissioning, that's proving to be a lot harder to do. But we are going to be able to clone this project or share this project with another team member, and then they'll get a copy of this into their folder, and they can play around with it, make edits, make changes. But yeah, you'll be able to do that at a holistic scale, not just a single product.
Great, thank you.
Yep, great suggestion. Anyone else? I know some of you probably want your 20 minutes back, but if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If you can't think of them now, I'll send you an email with this recording. If your firm would like to have a quick little 30-minute demo of how to use this platform, we'd be happy to share that with you. We really love working with the USBC and supporting LEAD. I've been a volunteer for the organization for over 20 years. Really, really love making their lives easier. We also have a platform that we customize for the federal government. So there's an sftool.ecomedes.com. If you do federal work, it only features products that meet federal guidelines. And our main platform that has no level of curation, it's just all the data across every eco label and every rating system. It's called products.ecomedes.com, and it has every single rating system, and you can validate whether you want LEED, WELL, IFLI, Green Globes, and we're adding more to that as well. So all the platforms that we build are free. We don't charge users to use them. We only modify platforms for large institutional buyers or people that want a configured version of our platform. But all the platforms to the using community is free to use. Build as many projects as you want. You want to limit the speed bumps and the roadblocks to building more sustainably. Yep. So anyone, I'll send you guys in my email. I'll give you a little link to set up a one-on-one. Just pick a half an hour that works for you and your team. Happy to do it. If you have a project that's getting ready to kick off and you kind of want a little help during the charrette, we'd be happy to teach the entire charrette crew how to use this. It saves usually between 100 and 250 hours of project time a month across the entire portfolio of team members. So I used to be the internal green consultant running around trying to help everyone, and I'm really happy that every month we help tens of thousands of people find product data very, very quickly. And the last thing is, if you ever want to search just for a brand right off the top, you can just type in a brand like Certainteed And as soon as you click that, it'll show you their entire catalog that's compliant and all the certifications that they've achieved. So you'll see like the categories that they're in, all the certifications and eco labels they've achieved across their entire portfolio. And then you'll be able to kind of just dive right in. So anytime you kind of already know who you've been using a lot, you can just type their name in, and that'll just generate an entire view of everything that they have, including this like little breakdown of all the certifications and eco labels. And it's a really fast way to get a lot of information about a brand that you might be thinking about using, or you've been using a lot and you just want to kind of validate that all that data is there for you. So really kind of use these brands to their advantage. And a lot of them have achieved a lot of that stuff, especially the credits that we covered. Many of these, if you just go through some of the examples, you already have the 5 different manufacturers that can get you full complement of credits, and kind of move on to the next harder part of a project, because I know there's plenty of other things you guys have to worry about on a daily basis. So let me go back and conclude. So I will send you the CEU self-reporting requirements. You can do that at your leisure. It's 1 CE for the lead AP, BD, and C accreditation. I can deliver this for you guys too as a firm if you'd like. So if you do want that, just in your scheduling with me, say, hey, Paul, we'd love to have you cover the CEU really quickly. That way our teams can get a self-reported CEU out of the way for GBCI, and then give us a demo of the tool. We'll be happy to kind of bake those 2 things together for you. And my contact information is right here, paul@ecomedes.com. So thank you guys so much for the time. If there's no other questions, we can end early. And if you are a professor or a teacher, I'd be happy to do a lecture. I do those at the University of Florida every semester for Bahar and at UF, and I really love doing that. My daughter actually just went to UF. She's a freshman, and she decided to do sustainability as her major. So I'm really proud of her kind of following in footsteps I got to do 22 years ago and in college. So I really appreciate you guys' time. Please use the site, use it as much as you want, share with a friend, and I will send you guys a recording and all the slides and a calendar link to set up a one-on-one if you want it. Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.